Warning: if you instinctively scroll past clips of Ganges funerals, or really missing out big time, do you think what you're missing is some terrifying eerie scene? Not at all. What you're missing is the unique way Indians turn the heavy matter of death into a romantic and insightful journey-a-life farewell ceremony that's most misunderstood around the world. Don't rush to say I can't watch this or it's too scary. Honestly, the first time I saw clips of Ganges funerals online, I almost dropped my phone out of instinct. But when I really took the time to understand the cultural logic behind it, I realized our misunderstanding of Ganges funerals is even more absurd than stereotypes like curry is the only Indian food or all Indians were. Today, let's take a relaxed cultural exploration to fully understand why. In the hearts of Indians, the fire funeral by the Ganges is the most sacred and dignified farewell to life. Don't worry, this isn't a thrilling spectacle or a boring history lesson. The whole explanation is down to earth. You'll find that behind this ceremony lies the profound insight into life that's deeply rooted in Indian culture. First, let's break down the process of a Ganges funeral step by step. Many people find it terrifying simply because they don't understand the details behind it. Once you grasp them, you'll only feel the great care embedded in this sense of ritual. This farewell ceremony isn't a random cremation anywhere. Every step has its significance, much like preparing a solemn send-off for someone important. Step 1. Preparing the deceased for their journey. Relatives first wrap the deceased in a brand new yellow cloth, which symbolizes purity in Hinduism and helps shield the deceased from worldly distractions. Then they sprinkle fresh flower petals, mostly lotus and marigold, which Indians regard as symbols of purity and rebirth over the cloth. See, isn't this like packing blessings for a loved one, embarking on a long journey, tucking all good wishes into their attire? Step 2. Escorting the deceased to the terminal of life. Male relatives closest to the deceased carry the wrapped body to the Ganges River step by step with bamboo poles. During this process, relatives don't cry loudly. Instead, they remain calm, because in their belief, death isn't an end, but the start of another journey. Crying would make the deceased soul linger in the mortal world, unable to leave in peace. Step 3. The core step, the cremation. The wood used for cremation is very specific. It must be sal wood, which is unique to the banks of the Ganges. Why sal wood? Elders say this wood has a dense texture and burns evenly, turning the body to ashes completely. This way, the deceased soul won't be trapped by the physical body and can leave easily and purely to begin the next reincarnation. Some of you might think using wood for cremation is cumbersome, but for Indians, this isn't a hassle, it's the final respect for the deceased. Just as different cultures have their own recognized rituals for farewell, there's no hierarchy, only difference. Moreover, the cremation platforms by the Ganges have different grades, and they aren't chosen randomly. The best spots, closest to the river with the best views, are mostly reserved for Brahmins, the highest caste in Hinduism. Ordinary people use the middle platforms. The outermost platforms are for those not allowed a full cremation, such as young children who died, young, pregnant women, and people with infectious diseases. They are directly placed into the Ganges because Indians believe these souls are inherently pure and don't need purification by fire. Merging directly with the Ganges allows them to be reborn. But don't worry, we won't focus on these details today. Instead, we want to show you through these processes that every step of a Ganges funeral embodies Indians' reverence for life. It's not a weird ritual, just a farewell method we're not familiar with. Now that we understand the ceremony process, let's delve deeper. Why do Indians specifically choose to bid farewell to life by fire by the Ganges? Behind this lies the core view of life in Hinduism: reincarnation and rebirth. Hinduism believes that death is not the end of life, but a restart button. Our souls reincarnate in different physical bodies, much like changing clothes. When old clothes are worn out, we put on new ones, and the soul itself never disappears. The Ganges in Hinduism is a holy river that washes away sins and is regarded as an incarnation of Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction and rebirth, who can destroy all evils and bring new life. Therefore, Indians choose to hold funerals by the Ganges and cremate the body to purify it. Essentially, they want the deceased soul to wash away the sins of this life in the Ganges, break free from the physical body through the purification of fire, and embark on the next life with a clean and pure soul. Speaking of which, don't you think Indians have a wild imagination, even wilder than the rebirth dramas we usually watch? In rebirth dramas, protagonists mostly reincarnate with memories of their past lives, wanting to make up for regrets. But Indian rebirth is a complete farewell to the past, embarking on a new journey with a light heart. Both kinds of rebirth are pursuits of completeness, just in different ways. Some of you might say reincarnation sounds vague and unrealistic, but actually, we don't need to dwell on whether it's real or not. Instead, we should focus on the insight into life that this view brings to Indians. In many cultural contexts, death is often associated with sorrow and separation. Crying and solemnity at funerals are expressions of reluctance for the deceased. But in Indian culture, death is returning home and starting a new journey. So at their funerals, there's more calm and blessing than heart-wrenching grief. Don't laugh at one group for not understanding another culture's farewell rituals. Different cultures actually have similar obsessions. For example, some cultures believe funerals must be solemn and quiet, while others hold that specific rituals are needed to let the soul rest in peace. Just as Indians believe Ganges funerals must be complete and fire can purify the soul, the essence of these obsessions is respect for life and farewell to the deceased, with only different expressions due to cultural differences. I once saw an interview where an Indian elder said, "The Ganges is our mother river. She nurtured our lives and will embrace our end. Entrusting our bodies to the Ganges and our souls to reincarnation is the most reassuring thing." After hearing this, I suddenly understood, no matter the farewell ritual in any culture, its essence is to find a sense of peace in bidding farewell to life. This reverence for life is universal around the world. Therefore, we have no right to judge others' farewell methods by our own standards, let alone label them as weird or terrifying out of ignorance. Respecting different cultures is essentially respecting different attitudes towards life. By now, I believe you have a brand new understanding of Ganges funerals. It's not a spectacle for curiosity or a terrifying ritual, but a farewell full of ritual sense and profound insight into life. In fact, the essence of a Ganges funeral, like farewell rituals in different cultures around the world, is saying goodbye properly. Some cultures entrust their longing to the earth. Some convey blessings with flowers, while Indians use the combination of fire and river to complete the final farewell to life. The most insightful thing about Indians is that they don't see death as a sad end, but turn it into a romantic start. Fire carries away the tired physical body. The Ganges embraces the worldly sins, and the soul embarks on a new journey with a pure self. This calmness towards death and reverence for life are truly worth reflecting on. Many people are used to treating death as a taboo, unwilling to talk about it or even afraid to mention it. But Indians show us through their way. Life is a cycle, and the end is also a new beginning. Instead of fearing separation, it's better to say goodbye properly. Send the deceased off in peace with blessings, and let ourselves let go of obsessions. Honestly, when I first learned deeply about Ganges funerals, I didn't feel fear instead. I felt a sense of peace. I suddenly realized that no matter the form of farewell, the core is never the ritual itself, but respect and blessing. As the believers by the Ganges say, life comes from nature and returns to nature. This is the simplest truth. So, the next time you come across clips of Ganges funerals, take a moment to pause, be more understanding and less prejudiced. After all, the end of life shouldn't only be tears. It can also be blessings. It shouldn't only be fear. It can also be calmness. Now that we've talked about Ganges funerals, do you have any thoughts?